everybody, welcome to review number 5. Today we're looking at Beastwars Waspinator. Yeah, this is a deluxe. He is significantly bigger than the other figures I have reviewed so far. He is specifically I believe he is a cuckoo wasp, also called a sweat bee. Interesting name, yeah. I believe that's what he is. Just because of the colors. There is actually a wasp that is these colors. The cuckoo wasp has an interesting lifestyle. They basically crawl into the nests of other eusocial insects like bees and hornets and things like that, and will attempt to lay their eggs in the cells of another species' nest and run away and hope that they look after the grub or the larva, and they don't actually look after after their own young. There's a couple of animals in nature that do that. Interesting lifestyle, I guess. So they don't really have hives. Anyway, he's quite a nice figure. This isn't the original. He is a reissue. You can tell because he's got this Predacon insignia on his back here, on the top of the thorax. The original didn't have that, and also the original was a slightly different color. This isn't exactly the same color as the original Waspinator release, but, I think it's good enough for the purposes of this review. He's kind of he's quite a large insect, like I said. His back legs, look at those. Those are very interesting. Not the most realistic representation, but it does look good to my eyes. I do like this. He's got ball-jointed wings, so he's not completely imposable in this form, and you can also see very clearly that these back legs are posable. He's got ball joints at this knee section and up here, so he can move these around. The two front pairs of legs, of course, are immobile, but he's got a fair bit of posability in this form. That's okay. That's all right. I like that. And it's quite a decent figure. Like the detail on the face. Look at that. And anyway, yeah, to transform this guy, we're just going to pull off this stinger. You can see this tab up here. Just pull this off, and this forms his gun right here. Yeah. And I'll just put that down. So, to begin, we will straighten out the arms out to the sides like that. There we go. Oh, it's totally out of focus. Sorry, guys. That's better. You can very clearly see these bottom legs are obviously going to be his proper legs, but you pull this down. See, it's actually pegged in here. You pull these down like this, and then swing this area up. And get these down here. And he's got these giant, crazy insect legs still. That's not quite right. You do this. You rotate this piece, and it pegs in like that. And then you've got Waspinator legs. There we go. Kind of a nice metallic sheen, doesn't it? Look at that. It's got a nice metallic sheen to it. Now for this top part, you simply, well, you can see he's actually coming apart a little bit up here. You break this piece down like that, and you slide these two pieces apart, and they peg in. There's a little peg down here, right there. That pegs into the side of this chest panel. So you get this kind of look here. It's all right. There we go. Just put him back here because he is quite big. And there you have Waspinator in his robot mode. He's close to his, show representation. Not completely. He is not completely like his television counterpart. But you can clearly see that they are similar, at least. And as for this gun, you can peg this into his hand there, and something you may have noticed already, his wings have missiles in them. You can pull them out of the wings, and you can use these. Let's see if it'll focus for you. There we go. So there's this weird, opaque, sort of silky consistency. And they peg into the gun. Let's see if I can actually do this on screen. There we go. And now he's got a projectile in his gun. Interesting shape to it, kind of rounded at the end. I mean, they couldn't make them pointed, obviously, for child safety concerns. But now let's have a look at his face. Yeah, it's almost there. It's not exactly like it is on the television show. It's a bit rounded and kind of bulbous looking, but I think it's all right. It's all right, but it's not the greatest. Definitely not the greatest. However, this is not his only head. He has a secondary head. Very interesting thing that they did in Beastwars. Many of the deluxes, or I would even say all of the deluxes up until the Transmetal era, had either a battle mask or a secondary head or a secondary face. Most of them had battle masks, but this particular figure has a completely different secondary head. Now, if you just take this chest piece here and you bend it down, you can clearly see a secondary head down there. And you turn him around and pull this piece, and you can flip this head out, and now, what the heck just happened here? Look at that. It's like a completely different character now. That's quite a different look, isn't it? He doesn't even look like Waspinator anymore. You could recolor this entire figure, and you could use this head instead, and you could say it's someone completely different. In fact, I think that's exactly what they did. There was actually another figure that used this mold. He was yellow instead of green. His name was Buzzsaw. I had him as a kid. I have him around here somewhere too, but I decided to do Waspinator instead, as he is a much more iconic character. And he kind of, more people are familiar with him than they are with Beastwars Buzzsaw. But he's got that very G1 transformery visor look going on. When I was a kid and I saw this head, I kind of imagined that this was this is what he would look like when he was possessed by Starscream. Because if you remember, in the Beast Wars series, Waspinator was possessed by the ghost of Starscream once. Of course, that didn't actually change anything about his physical appearance in the show, but when I was a kid, I imagined that when Waspinator was possessed, he would take on this more G1 look. That was sort of my headcanon as a kid. Actually quite like this face. It's nice. Yeah, most of the other figures didn't have a secondary head. They had a battle mask that would go over the head. Some of them, like Polar Claw, actually had a secondary face on the other side of the head. Sort of quintessani, actually. Anyway, that is Beastwars Deluxe Waspinator. Thank you for viewing this video. Please rate, comment, and subscribe. Tell me what you thought, and I'll be off.